I've seen this word come up a lot, whether it be on TikTok Live or X or whatever like that, is the word goy. Now, I've never used this word in a derogatory way. I've really never actually used the word much. So what's your take on this word and why now is it such a popular word?
Okay, as always, let's do the worst one and then let's bring it back. Goy can be used as a derogatory term if somebody wants to say that that person isn't a Jew. It is shorthand in the worst of times for that and only that. But what is it actually and what is its dominant usage? It means nation. That's it. So Israel is referred to as Goy HaKodesh, so holy nation. Kodesh, Kadash, Kodesh, like holy. That's where that comes from. It's very, very simple, straightforward word. It just means nation. And as it evolved over time, it turned into essentially non-Jewish nations, non-Jewish people, just shorthand to say that. And if you think that's bad, every single culture has a word for that. Like even Comanche isn't that word. Comanche is actually a derogatory word that just says like the other people. I think Comanche is actually barbarian, if I remember correctly. And then it was other people who referred to the Comanches while using this slur. And then it was kind of thrust upon them in the annals of American history. But really short, goy is nothing. It's just means nation. That's it. Um, and there's nothing beyond that from what I said. Some people have used it in the past as a derogatory term. I don't, because if I want to use a derogatory term, I'll come up with something much more precise than something that means just everybody else. But yeah, that's all goy is. Goy means nation in Hebrew.
Yeah, and then people always ask that, or they, at least they write in the comments, "Am I a good goy?" And I don't really know what that means or what they're sort of referring to. Maybe it's referring to the fact that they think the Jews run the world. So if they're a good goy, then they're going to get like good stuff from the Jews that run the world. I'm connecting a lot of different things here, but that's really the only sort of conception I have of that question. Otherwise, I don't really get it. Or maybe they're just trying to be mean or rude or throw something in the chat or what. I don't know. But your take.
The main one, now that you said that out loud, is Shabbos goy. Am I your Shabbos goy? It's actually other people we're trying to use a term that they don't have any idea what it means because again they don't know Hebrew, they can't read Hebrew, they're not steeped in any of the tradition of Jewish people, but they say Shabbos goy. So those who have to help Jews during Shabbos because we have a bunch of prohibitions. You can't turn on the lights, you can't cook, you can't ride elevators, and if you want to do anything you have to do this weird kind of like hint at people in order to help you if you're ever on the road during if you're ever on the road as Shomer Shabbos, right? We all know the Big Lebowski. Don't roll on Shabbos. So if you have your Shomer Shabbos Jews and they're on the road for a weekend, they show up probably like noon on Shabbat. They'll check in to their hotel. But if there isn't an elevator that constantly goes up and down, and you have these in almost all of the elevators in Israel because they know that actual um, they have religious Jews who are going to be in the hotels. There'll be an elevator that stops at every floor so that you don't have to. But if you're with Shabbos, or sorry, if you're with a Shomer Shabbos, an observant Jew on Shabbat, and it's not one of those elevators, and you get into the elevator with them, they'll like him. It's like, oh, it'd be great if somebody could come up to the fourth floor and push that button, but you can't ask the person directly. Again, by the way, that brings it back to the Talmud. Where does all of that stuff come from? That comes from the Talmud and a bunch of rabbis arguing over the proper way to still be a good Jew during Shabbat when you have to get stuff done because you're not allowed to
Mm.
work on Shabbat. So how do you get around some of those? Well, you figure out a way to do it. And that way is by hinting sometimes on things like elevators. But the Shabbos goy, it's like, oh, you want me to do all of this stuff for you? It's like, no, it'd be nice if you could out of the goodness of your own heart. But if you're using Shabbos goy as a derogatory term, well, that's you using Shabbos goy as a derogatory term. That's not me using it. And it's weird when people co-opt words and then use them as slurs when we're not the ones who use them as slurs. And I think that's really where the goy issue comes from. It's being used as a slur, but it's not being used as a slur by 95% of Jews.